Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back. This may come as a surprise to many of you who are attending this session today that our next honored speaker is neither a physician nor a nurse or a paramedic. Rather, from a background of dietetics and business administration, a devoted wife and mother who has initiated something which none of us ever thought. Many of us may know her husband, respected Dr. Muhammad Ali Mumtaz, who has dedicated a significant portion of his personal skills in the form of Waqf-e-Arzi at Tahir Heart Institute, Pakistan, and still going on. Most of us, however, do not know that Farhana Sahiba has been the pillar of strength during all of this period of Waqf and continues to do so. She is the mother of 3 children. She had to stay behind to look after 2 of the younger children still in school when their father left for Waqf. Despite that, she managed to go to Rabwa several times and witnessed firsthand the deficiencies in healthcare over there, one of which was lack of skilled nursing. Farhana Sahiba developed an online platform to facilitate Tahir Heart Nursing School. She is focusing on building nursing students' capacity with scientific and technical content, and mobilizing resources towards nursing skills and professionalism. In addition, recently, another front opened for her in US, that of Afghan refugees, their language and cultural barrier, how to supplement their basic needs, how to fill in healthcare gaps, especially for women and children, led her to start her own voluntary organization called Razakaar Foundation, named after her father, who instilled the sense of how to be caring and sensitive to other people's needs. This organization is committed to sustainable independence for refugees and other vulnerable populations in the state of Florida. I am grateful to Farhana Sahiba for sharing with us her problem-solving spirit, something we need more of today. Please join me in welcoming my dear friend, Mrs. Farhana Khan.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. That was a very heartwarming introduction. Thank you so much. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. I had a lot to say, but because of the time and because Dr. Mubashir Ahmad Mumtaz and you have said so much, so I will try to go straight to the technical aspect of what I'm trying to do. So let's see if it works. I think we need to put up our presentation, which is about virtual Waqf-e-Arzi. It's open? Yes. Okay. Okay, here it is. So as most of you probably know that my husband went to Pakistan for almost 4 years. He quit his job and he stayed there. And during the same time, pandemic happened, so he was 100% devoted over there while I stayed here. During that 4 years of time, I had several opportunities to visit Tahir Heart and other institutions in Rabwa, including Nusrat Jahan Academy, the public health departments, the special education departments, and I visited the houses of people from different backgrounds, so it helped me understand the clinical health, public health, and the education system of Rabwa. And after, I also went to Nazarat-e-Sehat and talked to many people how things are done here. And after doing my needs assessment, I thought that I would be able to serve best if I could invest my time and my expertise in the nursing school. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of background of the Tahir Heart Nursing School. If you can go to the next slide. Let's see. I'm gonna try it myself. Oh, there it is. So Tahir Heart Institute was started in September of 2007. And nursing school also started around the same time. I think initially they hired some nurses outside Pakistan, but overall, over time, they started building their own nursing school. Right now, they have a 3-year program, which they are thinking of transitioning into a 2-year program. And it is important to know that it is separate from Fazle-e-Umar Nursing School. So Fazle-e-Umar makes their own nurses, and this particular program is for Tahir Heart Institute. We have on average about 40 to 50 students in a given year. That means about 10 to 15 students per class. The number of students is dependent on how many new students do they need and how much capacity do they have to house them or to teach them or to give them scholarship. And I know that some people are visiting me. Dr. Noori is here, so he can correct later, but some of the statistics may be off. Most of the time, the students have a Faculty of Science degree when they come, but sometimes they will take students from from a high school, which is 10 years of school. 80% of the students in Tahir Heart for nursing school are girls. And this is one of the classrooms. As you can see, the girls sit on one side, the boys sit on the other side, and they have a whiteboard, and usually the teacher sits and they do the lectures. So the question is, what kind of curriculum do they follow? They try to follow the Pakistan Nursing Council curriculum, which has many, many tracks. So you have a 1-year track, you have a 2-year track, you have a 4-year track. Some of them are more geared towards midwifery, some of them are in public health. They try to follow the 4-year track, which you can see at the bottom, which is a degree program. But instead of offering 4 years of schooling, they offer 3 years. And there is a reason behind it. They do not give 4 years of a degree to the students, otherwise they have a higher rate of attrition. So they believe that 3 years of nursing should be enough, so they roughly try to follow that curriculum. And if you want to see in detail, you can always go to Pakistan Nursing Council website and you can see what are the details. Okay, so I'm not gonna go over the whole curriculum. I just want to show where I'm focusing right now. So in the first year and second year of curriculum, they focus mostly on basic sciences and intermediate sciences. So that includes microbiology, anatomy and physiology, biochemistry, some computer skills, and all the other core courses like English and Pakistan studies and all that. And you can see that microbiology, anatomy are a full year program. So there is a first semester and a second semester to it. And then this is the 3rd year and 4th year program, and they don't learn any of the 4th year program, which is critical nursing care, nursing theories, or management or research. So they stop at the year 3, and after that, those girls are hired in the in the school, in the hospital. Okay, and how do they implement that program, the teaching program? They give on-site lectures. They have hard copies of textbooks, and sometimes they don't have hard copies. The professor or the doctor will use their notes. They have clinical experience starting from day one. So as the nurses, students start the very first year, their classes are from 10 to 12, and after that, they go straight to the ward. So they start working over there. And then they also have community experience, and they also receive rotational teaching. So for example, if you have a visiting doctor or if you have an on-site doctor, on the spot, they will try to tell you a technique or a strategy. This is how you do it, this is how you put the instrument and all. I did go over their textbooks. Last year when I visited them, they were using hard copies of the textbooks, which were about 30, 35 years old. Some of them are not are published anymore, so there is no updated version. This year, one of my contacts sent me a flash drive with PDFs. So they do have PDFs of the textbooks that are used in medical school, not necessarily in nursing school. And it's just one straight PDF, not broken down into different sections. But it's a good reference point. So they're hoping that they can use these books instead of the hard copies. And it's important to know that students do not buy their textbooks. Once you finish a class, you give that textbook to the next student. And then that person will give the textbooks to the next student. So they don't get to keep the books as well for references. So that adds another challenge that if you want to go back on something. So there are limited hard copies. So these are some of the challenges or the gaps that I noticed. The first one is the cost. The students do not pay for the nursing school. It is more like a scholarship that is given by Tahir Heart for them to attend this. So it's more like you start working on day one, and at the same time, we will teach you, and then that's how they progress. The Tahir Heart also provides them housing, food, and transportation, and some other basic equipments. So most of the girls that I talk to, if there is extra money, they send it to home, so they don't use it for themselves. And a lot of times, that is the incentive for parents to send the kids to nursing school because they know some scholarship will come. Recruitment is a challenge. Because it's a rural area, it's a rural institute, so you're not going to get a lot of people. There are other nursing schools in the area. There is an overall nursing shortage in the world, but in developing countries, it's much worse. So somehow or the other, whatever we did, we created a lot of doctors, and we were unable to create a lot of nurses. So I think in Pakistan, last time when I checked, it was one-on-one, like there are same number of doctors as same number of nurses. The World Health Organization recommends 1 to 10. So we have a nursing shortage in United States as well, but it's worse in other countries. And for our countries, as we are bringing a lot of doctors outside, so despite that, the ratio is very, very low. The third challenge is the retention. It is hard to live in Rabba. And for those of you who have visited, they can understand it. There's culture shock, there is food, there is electricity, there is heat, limited opportunities, very little internet. The students do not have computers in their dorms. And they are not allowed to keep the personal computers.